We are gonna start. A dark and stormy night. It's a dark and stormy night when a ghost appeared. Hello, texting. We're gonna talk about no talk.
So they feel like they're
Dio los puntos.
Shabbat Shalom. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How wonderful it is to all be together here celebrating Shabbat. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We are in Parashat Noach, 10 generations into humanity, and things are not looking so good. Things are not looking so good, and God, as you know, calls on Noach and says, the world is full of crime. The world is full of hatred. The world is full of people doing things that I'd prefer they not do. And I'm going to restart with you. Because as the Torah says, Noah was righteous in his generation. And so Noah begins to build an ark and collect the animals, but he doesn't reach out to other people. He doesn't stop and look at his neighbors and say, what is this that we're doing here? He doesn't get involved in other people's lives. Let's hope that we've learned from Noah that humanity doesn't need to be restarted, to be recreated, but that we can get involved in each other's lives. And we can raise the question, what is it that we're doing here on earth together? What are we trying to build together? Where are we going?
Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad.
It is good to be with all of you tonight and to be with all of you on our live stream. I know people sometimes look back. Who am I talking to? You on the live stream. Good to be here for Shabbat once again, and a big welcome to a sixth grade class. Is that right? Sixth grade class from the Unitarian congregation in town here. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. It's becoming, I don't know, I'm sure it's been going on for a while, but certainly every year since I've been here. So we look forward to having you here and having the sixth graders next year too, I hope. So, our service continues on page 138, 139 with L'Chadodi as we welcome the Sabbath bride here with us this evening. We will be singing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9, And I remind you that when we reach our 9th and final verse, you please rise and face the entrance to our sanctuary as we welcome Shabbat, literally, into the room. So once again, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9, page 138, 139.
Yalla la 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 lecha dodi, yalla la 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 likrat kala, yalla la 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 pnei Shabbat lekabela, yalla la 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 lecha dodi, yalla la 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 likrat kala, yalla la 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 pnei Shabbat lekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad hishmi'anu el hamiuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shemo tiferet v'letihila. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor haberacha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machashava tchila. Hidoreri, kivorech, kumi ori, shir daberi, kevod Adonai, alayich nigla. Ateret bala gam b'simcha uv'tzolam toch emunei am sigula boi chala
handouts on the inside, the right-hand side, Tov Lehodot, a selection from Psalm 92. turn back in our books to page 120, 121, and invite to our Bima Ava Adler to light our Sabbath lights.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. We continue with the Chatzi Kaddish, page 144.
יתקדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ויעמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומייכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה, ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמא, ואמרו אמן.
Our call to prayer, the Baruch Hu, can be found on page 146. Please rise if you're able.
Ya la la.
We continue on page 149 as we acknowledge the seasons changing, as we do every day. The fact that the day turns to night and night to day, and that the world continues to go through its motions set in course by God at the beginning of creation. It was a stark reminder last night, though, watching rain turn to snow on children's noses. Let's read together on the bottom of page 149. This is an hour of change.
Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
And continuing on the top of page 151, we read together, As
you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Please rise once more, page 152, Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the works of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. We continue responsively on the bottom of page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Our Song of Redemption, Mi Chamocha, page 158.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh, malchutecha ra'u v'necha, b'kei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ge'alo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
On page 160, we ask God to shelter us with peace. Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Ushmor tzeiteinu Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Ve'hamidenu shomreinu.
On page 162, guard Shabbat. Sometimes I talk about doing one thing to make it different, but that's a sort of, nicer way of talking about what Vishamru is actually asking us to do. It's asking us to guard Shabbat, to keep it safe from the rest of the week, from the rest of the things that we do with our week. To just let go of everything else that you did this week. To just let it go. To try to find, as I know it is sometimes very difficult to, but to try to find some space inside yourself. To not worry about anything that happened this week. To not worry about the things you've yet to complete. To not worry about the things you'll need to do next week. Everybody's got them. And too few of us make room for ourselves to just have some peace. That's what Shabbat is supposed to be for us. It is us pretending that the world is complete, that there is nothing else to do except just be. That's what guarding Shabbat is. So try to guard a little bit if you can. Page 162.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
On page 164, we begin the Amidah. This is what sometimes I like to call the choose your own adventure part of the service. We will chant out loud together through page 170. So 164 through 170. And those of us that haven't been around lately, which is only a few of us in the room actually.
Exactly.
We've made a change to the liturgy because of the time of year. On page 168, since we have celebrated Simchat Torah, Shmini Atzeret, the end of the sort of summer months in Israel, in the land of Israel, we now begin to pray rather than for dew, which is what you hope for when in a desert situation. Now you're hoping for some wind and some rain. Not here in Michigan.
But we got it. It is winter.
In the land of Israel, it's true. We're going to get it no matter what we pray for. So
That's true.
Yeah. Israel needs the prayers.
We can send some their way.
Yeah. So that just notice that shift in the liturgy in this new season, and then so once we get to page 170, when we're done there, if you'd like, you continue in the Hebrew or the English through page 180, and if those words don't speak to you, that is totally fine too. Just close your Siddur, your prayer book, and pray the words of your own heart. And when you're done with your prayer, please be seated if you haven't already taken a seat. Which implies that I'm going to ask you now, if you're able, to please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומיתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Page 178.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom.
Seder Kriyat Torah, the service for the reading of Torah, can be found on page 364. It's my honor to invite to our bima our recording secretary from our Board of Trustees, Deb Child. Please rise if you're able. Page 364.
Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, u'devar Adonai b'Yerushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadol Adonai iti, Aniromima Shemo yachdav, Lecha Adonai ha'gedula, ve'ha'gevura, ve'ha'tiveret, ve'ha'netzach, ve'ha'hod, Ki cho b'shamayim u'va'aretz, Ki cho b'shamayim u'va'aretz, Lecha Adonai ha'mamlacha, v'yamit na'aseh lechol erosh. Al shlosha devarim, Al shlosha devarim, Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim, Al shlosha devarim, Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim, Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim, Al shlosha devarim, Al shlosha devarim, Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim, Al shlosha devarim, Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Rabbi Daniel, did you explain to our guests what the Torah service was all about? Oh, okay. All right. Excellent. So
it wasn't as weird as we thought you might think it is.
well, even I think for all of us, a good reminder, right? The Torah service is supposed to remind us of Sinai, and that the Torah sits, on a bima, on a platform, like at the top of a mountain, right? That's the idea there. But then it doesn't stay up there. Yeah, Moses has to bring it down, and it doesn't just belong to Moses, right? So it doesn't just belong to, the board of trustees of the synagogue, or the rabbi of the synagogue, or the cantor, or whatever, right? It doesn't belong just to the leadership, it belongs to all of the people. That's why we do the hakafah. That's the whole purpose of the hakafah. It's not just to show reverence to a, scroll, to the ideas in the scroll, but it's an idea of the democratization of the text for all of us. So I think, did you say all that, Daniel? Okay, good. Right. Well, at least I know I'm right then. So as I mentioned earlier, we are in Parashat Noach, the second parasha, the second portion of the Torah, which means, Mark, how's your arms? You ready? What's that? I can't hear. January. Okay, January.
That is probably a good thing for you because I apologize. This is a very heavy Torah, and it's all loaded on the left side.
Yeah. So, okay.
If anyone's really strong in their left arm, you might want to.
Does anybody want to lift later? Does anybody want to do it? Not Eva. Okay, Eric, you're gonna. Okay, all right.
I apologize in advance.
All right. But for our Aliyah, this is the first Friday of the month. What are we in? November. November. If you have a birthday or have a celebration, an anniversary, something to celebrate this November, and today is the 1st of November, so we get them right at the beginning. Come and join us on the Bima. Come and join us. Come and join us. What are you celebrating? That was in October. Oh, okay. You know what? Let's do that. Yeah, we usually do the Aliyah first. Let's do that. So
I have some cards here.
Cards.
And we have some microphones.
Cards, if you'd like. Same thing that's in your book, but still. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Now come closer. Come closer. Yeah, right up here. Right up here. There you go. Somebody's got to hold the... Abby, can you hold right there for us, Abby? Thank you.
Thank you.
Amen. Vayomer Elohim el Noach ve'el banav ito lemor va'ani hineni mekim et briti itchem ve'et zarachem acharechem ve'et kol nefesh hachaya asher itchem be'ov uva'behema ובכל חיית הארץ איתכם, מכל יוצאי הטבע, לכל חיית הארץ, והקימותי את בריתי איתכם, ולא יכרת כל בשר עוד מימי המבול, ולא יהיה עוד מבול לשחט הארץ.
Thank you.
1, 2, 3.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Okay, all right, sure. All right. All right. What are you celebrating?
Rachel and I are celebrating our parents' 60th anniversary.
Whoa.
Next Friday.
Mazel tov to your parents.
Yes.
Good work to them.
Well, without them, we
Exactly.
wouldn't be here.
Yeah, that's important to celebrate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always important to celebrate your parents' anniversary.
I'm celebrating a new home. I'm moving on Tuesday.
Hey, Mazel Tov. We can do a little Chanukah Tabayit and put up mezuzot. Yeah, you let us know. Yeah, okay. Same thing.
I'm with Abby.
Yeah, you're okay.
It's our 37th anniversary.
Mazel Tov. Very nice. When?
November 27th.
You want to say it too?
November 27th.
Okay.
I said it first, and now he knows.
Birthday when?
November 13th.
Would you like to share? Well,
64.
Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov. And Deb, are you continuing to be up here for
This month on November 3rd would have been my father's 100th birthday.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. Nice. Very good. And you? Well, I don't know you have any celebrations this month, but what are you going to say?
Snowing.
It snowed. That was in October.
No, but it's still gonna snow. It's gonna snow again.
It probably will snow again. This is true.
This is true.
Good chance
of that.
Okay. And so we ask for God's blessing on your parents. Okay. But you too. You can have some blessing too.
Thank you.
Yeah. On anniversaries, on birthdays, on new homes. Mishaberach Avotenu v'Imotenu Abraham Yitzhak v'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless each of you, those in your family whom you love, who you care for, this new space to create your life in, to be yourself in, the discovery of 37 more years of marriage, God willing, as you continue to grow, can grow into the people that you are becoming. A wonderful birthday for you. May it be a year full of happiness and snow. May it be may it be a year full of love for you, a year of peace, a year of joy. Happy birthday, happy anniversaries, happy birthday, happy snow, happy anniversaries, happy new home. With our Torah still out, we take a moment on page 371 and ask that maybe a little bit of the joy of celebration seep into our prayers as well, and to the people around us who are in need of healing. We are particularly mindful of Hillary Handwerger, Milton Child, Bridget Ford, Sherilyn Ford, Roxanne Poandra, Joel Berger, Karen Simon, Steve Gill, Sidney Usum, Barry Hopkins, Rick Spire, Buddy Tepper, Carrie Thorpe, Rachel Charson-Tunk, David Seidenstecker, Terry Logan, Carol Morgren, Irving Borowitz, Dick Jordison, Shelley Schwartz, and Chana Bat Rachel. If there are other names to add to our list for healing, please do so as my eyes meet yours. in your service handout.
Mi sheberach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov. Mi sheberach imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Leah, veRachel. May the one who blessed our fathers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Mi sheberach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov. Mi sheberach imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Leah, veRachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the vision for tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Mi sheberach avotenu, mi sheberach imotenu, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
All right, Eric. It's your time to shine.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I believe page 374. I hope so. Please rise if you're able.
V'zot Torah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la. Eitz chaim hi lamachazikim ba v'tomcheha me'ushar deracheha darchei noam v'chol netivoteha shalom shalom hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva chadesh yameinu kekedem.
Please be seated. So originally I was going to have you do this a little differently, but it's hours getting a little late, so we're going to go over this together. Thank you. Marty, will you help get some of those out? So we're going to take a look at just a little piece of the Torah text. This is from a book. It's a really wonderful resource. There's a few pages on every single Torah portion. It's called Sparks Beneath the Surface, and it was written and edited by Rabbis Larry Kushner and Carrie Elitsky. And what they do, they right in the center in the bold text, that's the Torah text that you're looking at. And then they have teachings around it. They have a main teaching from usually a Hasidic master, and then some other sort of peripheral teaching about the Torah portion. So we're looking at page 10, and I'll just read for you right in the middle. Right? So it rained for 40 full nights without stop, and that same day when the rain began, Noach and his family, his wife, his sons, wives, they all entered the ark. They and all species of beasts, all animals of every kind, all kinds of creepy crawlers, and all varieties of birds, everything that flies, they joined Noach in the ark, 2 by 2, all living flesh. They came, male and female, from all flesh that came as God commanded them, and Adonai shut Noach in the ark. So, if you look at the top left-hand side, it says the teaching from Aharon, Shmuel, Tameret. So again, this is a Hasidic teaching about this piece of text that we're looking at. Okay. The people of the generation of the flood did great evil, each person injuring and afflicting his brother. They did their evil gratuitously. They loved doing evil for its own sake. Even Noach was only a righteous person in relation to his generation. This is a classic comment on Noach, right? The difference between Noah and Abraham. Abraham was righteous in any generation. Noach was only righteous in his generation. It's not the nicest thing to say. Everybody else deserved death. You were good enough. The rabbis, it's really about keeping Abraham top notch. Okay, think of it less about Noach and more about Abraham. The comments that you're getting here. Unlike Abraham, our father, who, when he heard of God's intention to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, was pleased on their behalf. No, that's not what I was supposed to say. Abraham argued with God, and then Noach heard the terrible fate of how all living creatures would be wiped off the face of the earth. He uttered not one peep in protest against the decree. He was only concerned for his own well-being and building an ark to protect himself. And accordingly, a suitable punishment. Now, this is where I thought it was interesting. This is why I brought it. Because when I was just getting ready for Shabbat and for this weekend and, just going over the Torah portion, I had never read this before. And so I thought, oh, this is really interesting. And accordingly, a subtle punishment that was meted out for both the wicked and the righteous of that generation. Noach and his sons, everyone got what he deserved. This is what the Holy One did. God brought the flood, and now we're going over to page 11, and because of the flood, Noach was forced to flee for his life in the ark. And in this way, both wicked and righteous got what was coming to them. Those who were completely wicked were wiped off the face of the earth, and Noach and his sons were exiled into the ark. That this rabbi thinks of the ark not as a place of sanctuary for Noach, but a place of exile. That is a very different way of thinking about this narrative. And so now he brings it to this piece of Torah text, this idea in Torah of what you do when you commit, if you happen to be involved in a situation of manslaughter, right? You killed somebody by accident. In the Torah, there are what are called cities of refuge, right? You can run to this because the family of the person, right? In ancient law, the family of the person who you killed can kill you. and not be in trouble for it. They have the right to do that. But not if you're in the city of refuge. If you're in the city of refuge, then like a sanctuary city, literally, you have to, they cannot do that to you. And so you have to basically live your life there, at least for a time. So this rabbi brings it to this idea. When someone who has accidentally committed murder, according to biblical law, seeks safety in a city of refuge, he's not just seeking protection from a relative of the deceased who wants to avenge the murder. He's also making atonement and restitution for his own sin. In the same way here, the closing of Noach and his sons into the ark was not only to save them from the waters of the flood, but also the punishment of exile, to repair their perversion, for their hearts were cold to the suffering of their companions. Scripture hits at this idea when it says, and Adonai shut Noach in the ark, which is to say that Noach indeed entered the ark to save himself, but God closed the door behind him, in the same way that a prisoner locked in his cell by the jailer from the outside is not allowed to close the door on his own cell from the inside. How does this reading of Noach change your understanding of the situation? This sort of, sort of childhood tale that I think a lot of us cling to as children. What a fun idea. Here are the animals marching onto the ark 2 by 2. There's the giraffe and then the hippo and the alligators and the ostriches, and it's like this really sort of brilliant tale. And here the rabbis are sort of never satisfied with it. Right? There's something missing for them in this tale. Right? There's something missing. Yeah, Noach was great. He was a great guy, but there's something missing for them in who he was. How does this read? How does thinking of the ark? How does it sit with you? I've been getting double thumbs up over there. Okay, all right. Hold on. I'm gonna run around a little bit.
It sounds to me like Noah just barely made the cut.
Yeah. Noah just barely made the cut. Exactly. Anybody else got a thought to share? Deb, it looks like you're thinking about thinking. Okay. All right. You can keep thinking. No, you're ready now. Okay.
I know we talked about Noah not being concerned with his community, but I wondered about why people didn't come around and say, "Hey, Noah, what are you doing there? Why are you building that big old ark?"
Yeah. Yeah. So not all of the rabbis have such a sort of, let's not call it negative, but not positive view of Noach. And they talk about it, and I think actually there is a note down there that there is midrash on the idea that Noach hoped that people would see what he's doing and say, "What are you doing?" Right? But that's a sort of passive thing to do, right? It's not an act of
Actively go out and seek people.
Yes. He didn't actively go out and seek people and say, the world is going to be destroyed. Let's change the way that we're living here. Yeah. Ava. We'll get maybe one more after Ava.
So if they had done that, would God have let them go on the ark? I mean, would they have been allowed to?
Sure.
And the other thing I'm thinking is somebody had to be chosen so man could continue, right? Or else the world would have just been all the animals. So God chose Noah and his sons.
Yeah.
But why? You don't
Because
really know.
he was the most righteous out of all of them.
So that's kind of pathetic, right?
Is it pathetic? I don't know if it's pathetic. It just is. I said okay. We'll go a few more. Here we go.
It is said in the Bible actually that Noach haya ish tzaddik v'tamim.
Yeah.
Tamim
Blameless.
is,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Blameless, going straight on the narrow.
Bedorotav.
What?
Bedorotav. Yeah.
Okay. But maybe straight and narrow has no criticism of what you're doing or what the others are doing. Maybe being on the straight and narrow is not looking at your neighbor.
Yeah, he lives with blinders on.
Exactly.
That's a nice comment. Thank you, Abhishek. All right, Marilyn, I'm coming to you.
I'm not sure that's fair to Noah.
Yeah.
Abraham doesn't say to God, why my kid, why not somebody else's kid? God says do, and he does. Noah does the same thing. Are there examples of someone who protests? How many times does someone argue with God and say, Jonah doesn't?
Yeah.
Well,
Abraham does argue with God. He just doesn't argue with God about his own son. He argues with God about, a bunch of people that he doesn't know in Sodom and Gomorrah, right?
Yes.
But that's an important moment in Torah. It's a very important, critical moment in Torah.
So is that why Abraham is righteous in all generations?
Yes. That is why he gets raised up as righteous in any generation. Mm-hmm. And the text literally says in the Torah, it says B'dorotav, in his generation he was righteous. So there's sort of no getting around that in the Torah text. And the rabbis just like to compare these two. By the way, Abraham and Noah were 10 generations apart. So we get 10 generations from Adam and Eve to Noah, and then 10 generations from Noah to Abraham. This breadth of humanity taking place in just a very short amount of time.
I just wonder about how difficult it is to say to God, I don't like your plan.
Yeah, exactly. So
there's a plan or two I could take objection to.
Yes. And that's, we not only get it from Abraham, but then we get it from Jacob too, with being renamed Yisrael, the people that struggle with God, right? So, sometimes you have to have a little bit of audaciousness and say, you know what? This isn't okay, God. What's going on? It's not okay. Yeah.
I come from farm country, and I always had trouble thinking of being on the ark as any kind of reward. Trying to take care of all those animals.
Yeah.
That just did not seem like a reward to me.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, there we go.
And so the question that comes to my mind hearing this is, was Noah being saved for himself, or was he a tool that God used to save the rest of the beings around him?
That's a great question. Thank you. Yeah.
So I actually really like this reading of the text for this reason. So if Noah was really that wonderful and righteous, then why 10 generations later did we have such evil again in Sodom and Gomorrah? So by acknowledging the multiple aspects of who he may have been, righteous in his generation, but not necessarily righteous in all generations, gives us that ability to imagine how the world could have continued with some people who are more righteous and people who are far from that.
Thank you. Oh, okay.
What did the rest of humanity do that was so horrifically awful?
Yeah, the Torah doesn't get into the specifics of everything they did, but we have to assume it was pretty bad. But there aren't a lot of specifics. Although there is one story about the Tower of Babel, and this is a midrash. It's a rabbinic narrative, sort of filling in gaps. It's one of a really lovely midrash, right? So you're familiar with the story of the Tower of Babel, right? So people come together, they want to create a skyscraper, right? All the way up to heaven, to be as powerful as God, so to speak, right? And it wasn't the tower that our sages say was the issue. The sages talk about how when the people would bring a brick up to the top of the tower to place it on the tower, and a brick would inadvertently fall, they would all stop and cry and be horribly upset about the falling brick, that now they have to take another brick up from the very bottom of the earth. So when a person though would fall, because accidents happen on construction sites, nobody ever stopped. People just kept working. And so our rabbis imagine that it was sort of that inhumanity, that sort of that sort of way of being in the world that was so problematic for God. Oh, we got one more. Okay, we got one more, and then we're going to close off the comments.
Why did Noah even build the ark?
Well, because God told him to build the ark. So he's a good listener, right? He follows directions. He follows directions well. And look, I mean, you go pretty far in life following directions. But you're not going to create a revolution if you're just following directions. So I want to say one last thing, and thank you for your questions and comments. So one last thing about this idea for us of Noah being placed in the ark, not as a place of saving, but as a place of exile. The exile for him was important because, like the rabbi in this commentary says, the exile was a way of rectifying his lack of reaching out to other people. Right? Was a way for him to make tshuva, in a sense, to repair what he had done. Punishment, in the best way possible, right, isn't about inflicting pain on other people, but is about a person returning to the best of who they can be. And so the hope was, I think, as the Hasidic rabbi is telling us here, that through the process of going into the ark, that Noah would emerge as a better person, as a person who he is really meant to be. The one thing. Okay. I'm going to add one other thing, and I add these sorts of things often, but I'm going to say it again. I love that even though we have critical texts of Noah, that over and over and over again in the Hebrew Bible, in Torah, and elsewhere throughout our tradition, it isn't the perfect person that is identified as the hero. That it's not the perfect person that's identified as the hero. That it is a complicated person who fails probably more than once, and Noah certainly does that. He fails a number of times, and yet still he's the one, and his family, they are the ones to repopulate the earth. I think an important message that we get over and over and over again in the Hebrew Bible, in Torah, that it isn't perfection necessarily that we're looking for, but a real connection, I think, to our humanity. Shabbat Shalom. We continue on page 586 with Aleinu. Please rise if you're able.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ונשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 591.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. We are in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning for Ward Bissell, Doris Steinberg, Patricia Dempsey, Gil Small, Harvey Lee Blumberg, and Nan Gills. Our yahrzeits this week are for Rose Cole, Sybil Fishman, Sidney Fishman, Jacob Flaum, Philip Gross, Barry Halval, Jerry Jerome, Bernard Kasich, Francis Kinder, George Lon, Donald Mahler, Isabel Markowitz, Marvin Markowitz, Samuel Matlin, Jeanette Miller, Carol Moyer, Guy Palazzola, Mary Pettit, Harold Rosenberg, Paul Rosengarten, Judy Schwartz, Max Scheftel, Rose Shane, Al Sherrick, Louis Sherman, Meyer Taylor, Louis Weinberg, Joanne Weisbart, Adele Zimmer, Lester Zimmerman. If there are other names to add to our list for healing, please, for our list for mourning, please do so as my eyes meet yours. For all of those mentioned, for all of those who go unmentioned, and for all of those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, we rise once more, page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach pirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Olamei Almaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yit'aleh V'yithalal Shemei D'Kudusha B'richu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Damiran Be'alma V'imru Amen. Yehei Shalom Rabbah Min Shemaya V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom miramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom miramav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be forever a blessing.
Amen.
Please be seated. It's my honor to invite back up to our bima Deb Childs for words of welcome and brief announcements. Deb Childs.
Yeah, one.
Just the one. Just the one. I know these things.
I thought I heard it. Yeah, it's not unusual. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to all of you. It's on? It's on? Is that better? Okay. Welcome to all of you who are here for services tonight. It's lovely to see you, and hi, you guys up there streaming on us. It was a delight for us to see the 6th grade class from Unitarian Church. Welcome, and we hope to see you again. Or maybe next year's 6th grade class. Or maybe you guys can come back anyway, just because it's cool to be here, and we'd like to see you. There are lots of really neat things coming up. In particular, I want to point out to you the concert that we will be having when Danny Mossing comes later this month. He'll be helping out with the service on November 22nd. That's an early service. And he'll be doing a concert on November 23rd, in which Kol Halev will also participate. So I get to sing, yay! You'll see some other things on the back. I'm not going to go over all of them, except to remind you that we will be hosting, along with St. Clair's, the rotating shelter during the week of Thanksgiving. And we would like to have anybody who's available sign up to volunteer for that. So I think that's about it as far as announcements go, but I want to thank Dave Gitterman for helping us tonight. Thanks to Cantor Hayut. Thanks to Rabbi Winston. I was really lucky today. I got to sit next to two Evas. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And part of that being cool is that Eva Taylor and Marilyn Scott will be hosting the ONEG tonight, and we welcome you and want to see all of you down at the social hall. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Deb. Shiloh. One, if you are interested in the civil rights trip this spring, when the sign up goes out, and it will go out to the entire congregation, do it immediately, because there was a lot of interest at the meeting on Monday, and if you want a spot, you're going to have to sign up quickly. So I'll say that. So that's April 30th through May 3rd down south. That's one thing. Second thing is Donnie Mossing. All of what Deb said is true, but he is quite a personality, really wonderful. Will fill this room even without anybody in it. The sort of person he is. It'll really be an amazing Shabbat, I'm sure, and concert as well. I want to tell you one thing. I used to go every once in a while to. He was kind of the cantor at a synagogue in Los Angeles. He would do his guest artist stuff throughout the year, but he worked at a synagogue in Los Angeles pretty regularly. And I would go to his service every once in a while, and I was so impressed with him. There was a service that was happening, and there was a small baby in there, and the baby started crying, and sort of impromptu in the middle of the service, he told this wonderful story about babies crying, and then incorporated into the service. I mean, he's a masterful service leader and performer, and is really not to be missed. It's going to be a great weekend. You want to add anything else besides that?
I just think we are so lucky that we have him coming to our community, and I'm super excited about it. And Kol Halev has been working on some of his music, and it's absolutely beautiful. Yeah. So you're in for a real treat.
Torah study tomorrow, 8:50.
Yay!
It's always a good time. Promise. There's usually bagels and coffee.
Always.
Yeah. Always bagels and coffee. Unless somebody bakes something. And then
thank you, Deborah.
Okay, that's enough. ONEG.
Well,
did we thank our ushers?
We did not thank our ushers, which was Julie and Louie. Thank you so much. Well, we're pointing them out because after Kiddush and Motzi and after our closing song, we will ask that you bring your prayer books and any other papers that you have with you out to make their lives easier, as they have made our lives so much easier and nicer this evening.
Where are we going right now?
Kiddush and Motzi.
Kiddush and Motzi. All right. If you'd like to join us, as I say usually, if you think of yourself as a young person and would like to join us on the Bima for Kiddush and Motzi, please come on up. You're the only person that thinks of yourself. There we go.
How fantastic.
I like it. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. There we go. All right. Excellent. Excellent.
I'm delighted that our 6th grade guests are here with us too. It's wonderful.
Yes, thank you very much. We're going to say a blessing over some. This happens to be grape juice, and then some challah, some bread. So
Which you are going to get to eat.
We'll say at the very beginning of everything, when God created the heaven and the earth, God made a separation between the sea above and the sea below, and God planted plants on the earth, and put the sun and the moon and the stars in the sea above, and then put the plants in the earth below, and then put the fish and the sea monsters in the sea below, and the flying creatures in the sea above, and then created all the creepy crawly things to crawl over the earth, and finally created human beings on the 6th day, and said to us, now it's time to rest.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon inchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila l'mikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Hashabbat lechaim.
Right. And challah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. To page 625.
625.
Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra li'et nasa b'chefzo kol azai melech shemo nikra azai melech shemo nikra ve'acharet kichlot hakol levado yimloch nora ve'hu haya ve'hu hove ve'hu yiyeh b'tifara ve'hu yiyeh b'tifara ve'hu echad ve'en sheni leham shilo lehakbira beli reshit beli tachlit velo ha'oz ve'hamisra velo ha'oz ve'hamisra ve'hu eli ve'chai ko'ali ve'tzor chevli be'etzara ve'hu nisi umanos li menat kosi be'yom ekra menat kosi be'yom ekra be'yado av kidruchi be'etishan ve'ayira ve'im ruchi geviati Adonai li ve'lo ira Adonai li ve'lo ira. Nice. Shabbat shalom.